Alright everybody, welcome back. We are going to be writing our claim body paragraph today. I'm actually going to write two of them just so you kind of get a variety of examples of options that you have to write that body paragraph. So let's get started by looking at our graphic organizer. So the first thing we're going to want to do in this body paragraph, which will be our claim, the thing that we are arguing, is we're going to introduce the first reason that we have to argue the point of our essay. So I have one reason why dance can be so beneficial is the positive effects it has on mental health. So this is something I've already addressed in my introduction. It says maintaining positive mental health. So I knew that I was going to address that at some point, and now here it is. After we have that introduction, we are going to be explaining why we think we're correct and providing evidence. These can actually be flipped in either order. You can give the evidence first or explain why you're correct first. Either way, as long as you are doing a good job explaining what that evidence proves about your point. So mine says, according to the text, dancing can help encourage life and resilience in the face of struggle, death, and despair. That is my article, and I have cited it correctly. So in my article, I've kind of gone through and picked some of the quotes that I want to use. I actually did that ahead of time. I highly recommend having your quotes ready when you start writing your essay. And it's from right here, this paragraph. It suggests dancing can help encourage life and resilience in the face of struggle, death, and despair. So I've copied that, put it into my own essay, and it is from paragraph 3, so that is how I'm going to cite it. So I've got it like that, author's last name, 3 in parentheses, and the period is at the end. I also want to make sure this is not a floating quotation, meaning it's not just the quotation by itself. It actually has an introduction. It's got a tag at the beginning that shows that this is my writing introducing somebody else that's speaking. All right, after that, we need to explain this evidence. We need to prove why we're correct. So I'm going to explain this quote by saying these common emotions can be difficult to deal with at all stages of life, but dance provides an outlet to work through those challenges. So I've explained how this quote relates to my topic and makes a bigger, broader point about why dance can be so important in your life. After that, I am actually going to continue on this same point of the positive effects dance can have on mental health by adding in another quote. I want to have 2 quotes here. I just think it makes my paragraph stronger. You need at least 2 quotes for your body paragraph if you are only doing one body paragraph, or you can split them up into 2 paragraphs. Either way is fine, as long as I see at least 2 quotations that support the point that you are making in your claim section of your essay. So my next quote, and I've introduced it, says, according to the text, the Greek philosopher Plato believed it had health and citizenship benefits. I'm actually going to replace this it, because right now it says it, and we don't actually know exactly what Plato was talking about, but I know from reading the article that he was talking about dance. So I'm going to replace the word it using brackets. If I put brackets around it, that means that I have replaced a word that the original author had. They had a different word. I'm replacing it for clarity. That's totally allowed, and it really helps the reader. So I have cited it as well. After I have introduced this quote, I want to explain a little bit of how I agree with this quote, why this is a quotation that I did pick. So I'm going to say the power of dance is expressed through physical exercise, mental health support, and community connection. So that community connection can be very important because I've already talked about that in my intro. I've got help with exercise, connection with others, and maintaining this positive mental health. So I'm referencing those things again. That shows that I am focusing the topic of my paper based on what I already said I was going to address. And lastly, I am going to transition. So I've explained my evidence and I want to transition to the next point that I will make. So the next point I will make has to do with the pandemic. I'm totally allowed to talk about current modern events and the way that this topic might affect our day-to-day lives. So my next sentence that's going to transition into my second body paragraph reads, "The connection between others has been increasingly important in the 2020 to 2021 pandemic." So I've already just talked about the community connection and how that is a benefit of dance, and Plato agrees with me because he talks about citizenship benefits. And now I'm going to relate it to a more modern example, which is our pandemic. So this is my transition sentence, and then I'm going to start on my next paragraph, which addresses that pandemic. So friendly reminder, body paragraphs, you can have 1 or 2 for this essay. I'm going to have 2 just so I can show you what an ideal paper would look like. But if you just have 1 body paragraph that addresses your side of the argument, that is okay. If you are done with your 1 body paragraph and you're ready to move on to your counterclaim, you can skip to the next video. But the rest of this video will be addressing a second body paragraph. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's see. I want my new paragraph to begin with this line. "Due to this pandemic, many people are feeling isolated from friends, family, and the rest of society." Again, I have introduced my second reason, and now I'm going to use evidence and explain why I am correct. So I'm going to give you most of the rest of this paragraph. I am going to, on this example, use the author's last name in my sentence, mostly just because I want to switch it up. I don't want to say the exact same thing every single time I introduce a quotation. So I'm going to use the author's last name here instead of just saying according to the text every single time I use a quote. So this sentence says, "Bresnahan says dance can be especially important because it allows us to share emotions that increase our sense of community and connection." And that is from paragraph 6 of my article. So right here, "It allows us to share emotions that increase our sense of community and connection." I liked that quotation, so I copied it and I put it into my essay. For this citation, I already have the author's last name in the sentence, so all I need to do is use the paragraph number and parentheses, and then still make sure that you have your period on the outside of that sentence. Let's keep going. I will now explain this quotation and how I am relating dance with this quote about community and connection to the pandemic. So I'm going to say, "This connection can help people of all ages feel connected to their friends through dance apps such as TikTok." So I'm relating it to pop culture. That's totally fine. Let's keep going. "According to the article, TikTok has helped kids of all ages stay connected as they struggle with isolation away from their friends." Again, proper citation, last name, paragraph number, parentheses, period at the end. "TikTok allows people to perform and share the same dance choreography with their followers and other users. Friends can connect by learning and performing the same thing, which helps express emotion." So here I have explained how TikTok can help and dance can help in this pandemic, how it's helping some people stay connected and close to their friends, which I happen to think is a really cool thing. So that's going to be the end of my second body paragraph. I did 2 short body paragraphs instead of 1 longer one. Either one works. I have 4 quotations in there total, which is kind of a lot, but I think it makes my points stronger. So you need to have at least 2 and certainly no more than 4. That'll be it for this video, and on the next video we will start discussing our counterclaim body paragraph. I will see you there.